welcome back to Emotional Mojo. You know, she is called the most colorful judge on TV. I have to agree. Judge Karen returns to the courtroom with her razor-sharp wit and compassionate heart in her new show and compelling book, and she is here with us right now. Welcome, Judge Karen.
Thank you. It's a delight to be here today.
So happy to have you. You know, we do have a clip from your show, Supreme Justice with Judge Karen. Let's take a look at that.
I don't need their forgiveness. I'm good.
Well,
I gave my life to the Lord in jail.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, I gave my life to the Lord. I'm a changed person.
I
I've been
used to
clean.
be a criminal
Your Honor,
defense
I've been
lawyer.
clean
Wait
for
a
8
second.
years.
I was a criminal defense lawyer. You know how many people I visited in the jail? And every one of them found God in jail. Why is it that God is hanging out in the jail?
I gotta tell you, we were like cracking up watching these clips. You are so real up there. I mean, do you just have to be that way when you're dealing with people who will give you every excuse they can come up with?
You know what? I'm always real. What you see is what you get. I think that maybe the world would be a better place if we were all authentic.
Oh, I like
We
that.
say what we mean and we mean what we say, and I try to do both of those things.
How do you feel
I
like
like it.
people respond to that type of treatment?
I think that they have respect for it. I never have felt disrespected by anybody.
they'd be
I was
crazy.
I was talking to your producer earlier. I think that with authority, most people have a respect for authority. There's some good aspects to that and some negative aspects to that. So I really don't have a problem controlling folks.
Yeah, you gotta let them know. Let them know what's going on. And you're known for your passionate advocacy for families and for children. How have the court cases changed over the years?
You know, when I first started practicing, I practiced in juvenile court, and even the courtrooms were miniature for juveniles because the courts used to deal with juveniles one child at a time.
Right.
Now the system is overwrought. There's not enough money. Juveniles are treated basically like adults, and I think that may be part of the problem why we have so much juvenile delinquency.
Yeah.
Courts used to be able to fashion remedies for a specific child. Now it's like mass adjudication of cases, and you don't get the compassion that I saw maybe 20 years ago.
And Jada, you're a certified counselor. I mean, you counsel children and teenagers. I mean, what can be done about that?
That's a good point, because I think the first thing is to develop trust. And I'm wondering, you see all of these different people come in and they're they have mistrust up front. How do you develop that rapport? Because that's what we do in the counseling center. We can't heal without developing
They
a
probably don't
relationship
see
with
adults
rapport.
as someone they can confide in and trust.
Well, you know what? It all starts at home.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we talk about schools, we talk about institutions, we talk about bullying, but it all starts at home. I think that if you don't feel safe and learn safety and trust at home, it's really hard to recoup that in real life. So we have to start somewhere, and the place to start is to try to create environments where people feel safe and that they are heard and that they're validated.
Absolutely.
You know, and it's interesting because with your show, it's entertaining. You know, there is that entertainment factor, but these are real people, and they're broken when they come to you, sort of, right?
Right, this is what inspired me to write my book. There are a whole lot of broken people who come, people who have felt invalidated in life by parents, by spouses, by their bosses, and it's like a hug fest. I saw your program earlier about the hug motel or whatever.
$60.
But, you know, I think that we don't touch and feel enough in our interactions with our loved ones. And, you know, I was reading a study, too, that 100% of mammals sleep with their babies, but in our society we teach to put the baby in the next room and maybe
let 'em cry it out.
Maybe to start changes, start hugging our children.
Yeah, and you know, you mentioned your book. It's called Stay in Your Lane, and it does have a lot of stories from your own childhood and your own struggles. I mean, what advice do you offer to readers to just stay positive? Because I think that's a big part of your message.
You know what? I've had ups and downs in my life. The one thing that is important for all of us is to have faith in something. It doesn't necessarily have to be God, but you have to have a faith in something that is bigger than you are, because you're going to need that something that's bigger than you are to get you through those dark times.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And you say there are 5 major life aspects. What does that mean? What are they?
Well, I think there are 5 different passages in life. The first one I talk about in my book is the past. And I think that most of us are dragging baggage from the past into the present. And the reason why we can't get along with others, the reason why we are drinking too much or we're smoking too much, is because we're dragging that baggage from the past. And I think in order to make peace with our present and to look forward to our future, we have to deal with those issues from childhood.
Yeah.
You know, even in our relationships, I think we're playing out these same problems from childhood.
That's true.
What are some of the other ones? Are there any other ones you want to touch on?
Oh, I talk about the heart. I talk about family, creating traditions. I think that it's so important to have traditions. Sitting down to Thanksgiving dinner, going out on Friday nights to the movies with your kids, having date night on Wednesday night with your spouse. I think these traditions create order, feelings of safety in our children, and I think they create more harmony in our lives with our spouses and loved ones.
Yeah.
Now, this is interesting. So I'm looking at the interview for today, and I noticed there's some video from The Wizard of Oz, and I'm like, what is this? You say you have something in common with The Wizard of Oz. What is that?
What I think I have in common, I love The Wizard of Oz.
I just watched it with my son last night, which is
It's
really
one
funny.
of my favorites. I can remember the first time I watched The Wizard of Oz, okay? But I think that what I have in common is the notion that there is a direction back home. And home is to where your heart is, to where your center is. Because I think it's really an analogy. Dorothy is lost. It's where her heart is, where she thinks she wants to be. It really is home. And I think that I try to help people to get back to where they are centered.
I think that's super cool. We totally appreciate you sharing that message with us. So thank you for
you,
coming in.
ladies.
And make sure you guys tune in to Supreme Justice with Judge Karen. Check your local listings for that.